My fellow bandit, so you are thinking about selling single cards on Cardmarket, Cardtrader, you name it, but you still don't know how to safely ship off your cards to your customers. That can be a problem, right? Because customer perception, the reviews that you will get, they are important for future other buyers. But now, how do you make sure that the cards are packed safely? Well, we have done already more than 300 orders combined on Cardmarket and Cardtrader, so we already gained some experience. We made some mistakes along the way, and we are going to share now exactly what equipment do we use and how do we make sure that we get a 100% satisfaction guaranteed from our customers. So let's dive into the equipment that we are using. As you can see here, first of all, I've got here a nice supply box. When I'm doing my orders for Cardmarket Cardtrader, I simply pull out this box and all my equipment is in it. It is as easy as that. It doesn't need to be complicated and it is not a lot, my friends. So let's dive into the specifics, because we have a kind of a way in how we prepare the cards, and you need to structure everything a little bit to make sure that you are not losing a lot of time and that you do everything a bit the same way, right? So I'm going to prepare everything now open, and then we can discuss everything one by one. Okay, so here we have the equipment all set and go. So first of all, what are you going to need? You're going to need some letters, of course. We decided to use the format C6. Why C6? Because we use a premium cardboard to put the cards on, to protect the cards even more. So that's why we decided to take envelopes C6. Now you're wondering, Siggy, where do you buy those envelopes? My friends, keep it low budget. Keep it really low budget. If you have an Action near you, just go to Action. Yeah, they sell these packs, 50 envelopes for €1. Very low budget. And although they are not 100% perfect, because the glue could go a little bit farther here on the sides, but they do the work. At this moment, we still have not lost one single letter in the process. So they work and it is good. So keep it simple, and if you have an Action nearby, just go get them. Don't pay 5-6 euros for 50 damn empty letters. That's just a waste of money. Keep it low budget. Then what else? So I was talking about we have some premium cardboard. Well, yeah, we are a company, of course, and we like to do things in a professional way. So we have kind of made a premium cardboard that we put the cards on. So we put the cards in a nice protective bag and we tape it on here. Plain and simple. I will do another video where I show the exact process. Now it is just to explain the equipment that we use, basically. So we use one for putting the cards on, and then we put another one at the top to protect the both sides of the cards. So the cards are in between, which is nice and convenient. They are protected. And in case you're wondering, how do we make these? Well, we use the company Vistaprint. You can design your cards on their website. You can also choose, do you want a premium cardboard? Do you want a bit less heavier one? You can choose, yeah? And the more that you take, the less it will be in costs. So we usually then buy the 2000 and we get cards like this. So this is version 1, and now we are upgrading to version 2, written at the back with an extra information, and that we clearly say how did we do, and also for a review then, of course. And we also advertise our own cardbandits.eu website, where we give a 5% discount. These kind of cards are an easy way to communicate with your customers, and we are using this to advertise our brand, our company. Plain and simple. So how do we protect our cards? Well, we are under the assumption a letter is always sensible with rain, moisture. So we have, first of all, team bags. We put, if it's normal single cards, we put them in a bag like this. Yeah, you can put easily 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in a bag like that, close it off, and it is nice and secure. Now, what does not work? A top loader. For a top loader, we are using then graded card sleeves. This is a lot bigger, of course, but you can easily put in one top loader, multiple top loaders, and just close it off nice and safely. And we just tape it on here in between those two, and that goes then afterwards in the letter. Now you're saying, see, taping it, yes. Well, Nice and easy, just office equipment, basic office equipment. Where do we get this action, of course? Nice and convenient. A wall like this, where you have what, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 walls, or 7 or 8 even. €1. This was €1, my friends. Keep it low budget. And this thing, the dispenser itself, I think it was also €1 or €2. And it does the job. It works perfect. It is not over clunky. It is easy to whip off the tape. Nice and convenient. So that's what we use for that. Now also, you need a scale. So Cardmarket Cardtrader, they do kind of like a calculation how many cards can fit inside a letter. But we sleeve all our cards and we like to keep them in the sleeves as well, but a sleeve that weighs. These cards, they weigh. The plastic bags, they weigh. Your tape, that all weighs. So it comes from time to time that we need to pull out the scale and that we need to weigh the letter to actually know, are we remaining under the 50 grams? Are we remaining under 100 grams? Because otherwise you need an extra stamp. But if the customer has paid for just until 50 grams and you are 55, your post office will ship it back to you because it is not stamped enough. Do avoid that, yeah? Have a scale at hand if you're not sure. In the beginning you will put it on the scale a lot because you need to learn the cards. Also, not every TCG is the same. Cards from One Piece, that's a shit show, my friends. I really want to stress that. Those cards are thicker and they are heavier. So less cards of One Piece can fit in one letter in comparison with Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, for example. Simple as that. Yeah. So you need to get acquainted with how many cards fit comfortably in one letter to remain under the 50 grams or remain under the 100 grams. That's why you need a scale. It needs to be a scale that weighs until 2 digits after the comma. Because if it's 50.5 and the scale says 50 and your post office complains, I always like to keep it around 48 maximum, 49, not higher. I don't want to risk it. I don't want my letter to come back because then that means that the customer also needs to wait longer. Now, when we are talking about, okay, stamps. This is interesting. This is definitely something that you need to learn. We also needed to learn it. You have different kind of stamps, of course. Yes. We are from Belgium. These are now the ugly stamps that we got in Belgium. These are non-priority stamps for inland. These we need to use for then a shipment under 50 grams. It is 1 stamp. Until 100 grams, it is 2 stamps. And until 350 grams, it is 3 stamps. Yes, indeed, you can go until 350 grams and then you can even upgrade from a normal letter to a small mailbox box that just fits into the mailboxes of people. Yeah, that is also something that is possible. And then you need 3 stamps like this. Now, when you are shipping to another country in Europe, you need a priority stamp. These cost a little bit more and here also the limit is 50 grams. Yes, but once again, it is explained at the back, if you want to ship until 100 grams, you need 3 stamps. 3 of these. But normally Cardmarket or Cardtrader does the calculation for you and you just need to look at exactly what price the customer needed to pay for shipping and then you need to apply the correct amount of stamps for that. Yeah, never apply an inland stamp for a shipment that is going out of your own country. Yes. And now, finally, you have the registered letters. Registered letters, it is a kind of a difficult thing these days because registered letters, normally you are not allowed to ship goods inside anymore. And of course, trading cards are goods, they are products. It is not allowed anymore by law since January 1st, 2026 to ship off single cards in letters. Because a registered letter has got an insurance on top of it. And there is now the gray zone, because if you go to the post office and you just hand over the letter and they ask you what is inside and you say it's just a postcard for a friend, that ships off. But if afterwards the letter goes missing and you need to call on the insurance and you say there were 5 Pokemon cards inside of it worth €40, they will say, no insurance, my friend, you are not allowed to ship any goods. But that's another subject. I have made already a video about that, and it is a very gray zone because Cardmarket between the lines just says lie about it. But okay, how do we now ship this? You need 2 stamps to do this. Yeah, why is that important? So the first stamp, this is a very expensive stamp. It's what is it, 7, 8? It's no, yeah, around 7 euros, I think. This one alone, but this is not sufficient alone. You also need a stamp for Europe, a priority stamp for Europe on top of that. I think for the moment, a registered letter almost costs 11 euros. It is just the price of these days. But you do not come across that a lot, but it is also unavoidable because some people will indeed choose registered letters. I have sometimes that I have 3 registered letters in 1 week and then I don't have any for 2 to 3 weeks. It depends your customer. You can of course also have a discussion with your customer and say, hey, instead of registered letter, is it fine for you if I ship it off with a normal letter? That's between you and the customer, but if then the customer, in the end, the letter is lost, you might be just needing to refund. Yes, so this is the situation with the stamps. Now, what is also highly recommended when you ship out a letter, yeah, it is also highly recommended to, at the back here, to put your own information. Let's say you did not apply enough stamps. Let's say the address on the other side is not correct. You name it, something happens, and they want to ship it back to you. The mailman wants to ship it back to you. Then they need this. We do this. We just stick this at the back, and then in case something happens, the letter comes back to us. You need to do this as a guarantee, because imagine that your letter gets lost. If the mailman has no way of knowing who shipped it, they just throw it away. And that would be a shame, because that is 100% a loss on you. So we always do that. And as you can see, yes, indeed, we print these out. We don't write that. My writing, I should have been a lawyer, because you cannot hardly read my writing, and I hate writing. So what do? I have a label printer, and I have small walls to print these kind of things, and I just print a complete wall, and then I just cut them up, and then I have them handy. And the other labels, because the address at the front, I also print those labels via a computer on a label printer, and then I just stick it on here. Plain and simple. It does not need to be complicated. So this is now the equipment that I use to ship off all our cards, and we usually, I'm holding the table here because normally we don't have any issues. Probably now in a few days I will have one issue or 2 issues, because just I said that, I like to call that karma. But if you now found this useful, let me know down in the comments, and also please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, because trying to grow a channel and trying to give you some information, useful information as well, to help your business, and also click that notification bell to not miss upcoming videos. If you also have additional questions, if there are other subjects that you would like to see, also let me know down in the comments, and I will make also a video on exactly how I do the preparation of the cards. Okay, getting them out of the bins, sleeving them up, making the letter 100% ready to go. Because yes, there is some saliva that needs to come in play. Yeah, these kind of letters, the letters that we use, you need to use some saliva. You can use those letters where it is already pre-glued. They cost more. If you want to keep it low budget, just use your own damn tongue and saliva. Costs less. Just my own recommendation. And I will see you all in the next one.